Юрий Ивлев по праву находится в числе наиболее заслуженных легковесов отечественных смешанных единоборств. Он начал выступать в 2003 году и за 13 лет своей насыщенной бойцовской карьеры провел больше 30 официально зарегистрированных боев. Это не считая многочисленных неучтенных турниров по панкратиону и прочим видам смешанных стилей в эпоху становления ММА в нашей стране. В декабре 2009 года вместе с клубом «Легион» он пробился в финал командного чемпионата мира Айван Жорже, досрочно победив 3 соперников подряд на групповой стадии и в полуфинале турнира. Противостояла российской команде сборная Востока США, в составе которой, как ни странно, было больше бразильцев, чем американцев. В частности, соперником Юрия в своем первом бою командной битвы стал Айван Жорже. Бразильский боец по прозвищу Бэтмен считался на тот момент одним из лучших проспектов своей страны, и до боя с россиянином он провел 11 профессиональных поединков и во всех 11 одержал победу.
M1 Global presents.
И Великоросс представляет обновленную коллекцию шерстяных свитеров, шарфов и шапок, которые не только согреют в холода, но и создадут вам отличное настроение. Великолепные шерстяные свитеры Великоросс восхищают узором в традиционном стиле. Широкий размерный ряд подойдет даже для настоящих богатырей. Доступны различные расцветки, варианты с горлом и без него. Представлены модели из хлопковой пряжи с принтом медвежьей лапы и с изображением счастливой медвежьей семьи. А удивительные шарфы Великоросс, большие, мягкие и удобные, защитят от холода и от простуд. Красивый рисунок с обитателями сказочного русского леса будет радовать вас. И, конечно, не обойтись без новинки. В удобной шапке 7 русских медведей из инновационной гипоаллергенной пряжи. Такая шапка не вызывает раздражения, не мешает и не колется. С вещами Великоросс легко создать атмосферу уюта, тепла и семейного благополучия. Переходите по ссылке в описании и в закрепленном комментарии и получайте скидку по промокоду М1.
Айван Жорже of Team USA East versus Юрий Ивлев of Team Russia Legion. Both fighters being called to the center of the ring.
You know, this first fight is going to say a lot about how this team battle is going to go. Ayvon George has a lot of the advantages that the American fighters have. Big, strong, wrestler, good jiu-jitsu background. Yuri Ivlev, great sambo, very energetic fighter.
The bell in round number 1. George in the white and red trunks, Ivlev in the blue trunks. Yuri Ivlev, over 2 years of the M1 Challenge, is shown to be the most proficient in the art of throwing. Not takedowns, but throws.
That's amazing judo, great hip tosses, great trips.
Combination there from George.
Now, one thing, we haven't seen George throw very many strikes. He looked good on the feet against Steve Magdaleno, but their fight was fought mostly on the ground, and that's where Ayvon George dominated. So we haven't seen a lot of his stand-up.
Chant immediately for Yuri Ivlev from our great crowd here at the Ice Palace in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Good right hand by Ivlev over the top. You see Ayvon George putting his hand on Yuri Ivlev's hip. Does not want to get his hip underneath him and fall for one of those judo throws.
Ivlev caught that kick partially. George was off balance, quickly regaining his feet.
Oh, good right hand.
Right hand, then a left by Ivlev.
I think George is in serious trouble here. Good
Huge
uppercut.
left hand. There's the uppercut and left by Ivlev.
We started with that right hook over the top, Sean. That really wobbled George, and then the uppercut followed it up.
Body lock now by Ayvon George.
I think George is just trying to clear his head, and beautiful judo throw.
That's world-class judo right there.
George doing a good job of scrambling back to his feet, but I think he's still hurt, Sean.
George is covering up. The end could be near.
I think it is.
Looking to finish. Michael Bruce and a referee taking a very close look at the left.
This is about to be stopped, Sean.
Another left by Ivlev. George is covering up, trying to hold on.
Referee needs to stop this, Sean.
Ivlev.
The referee needs to stop this. This is way too much damage.
George taking a real beating now. Ivlev continuing to let go with the hands.
Wow, referee not stepping in. George is just getting teed off on here. Wow, Marco Barroso usually all over a fight like this, but lets it keep going. Unbelievable.
George survives a tremendous flurry of punches from Yuri Ivlev.
I don't think I've ever seen a fighter take that kind of sustained damage in a fight without the referee stepping in. He did not land a single punch back, Sean. Wow.
George covered and protected his head. Now a flying knee from Ayvon George, pushed away from Yuri Ivlev, who's in full control here in round 1.
George needs to get this fight on the ground.
Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, as are all 5 bouts here in the 2009 M1 Challenge Finals.
Now, George, a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's very calm on the ground. He knows how to use this position if he can get Yuri Ivlev down. And that's no easy task with someone with his judo skills.
See Ivlev posturing up on both knees, letting go with the punches. George now getting his back.
Wow, has both hooks in now.
George both hooks in, looking for the rear naked choke.
Wow, what a comeback this would be if he's able to finish this on the ground.
First time in this fight that Yuri Ivlev has been in some trouble.
I think he may have punched himself out a bit. Aivan Jorje trying to snake that arm underneath the chin.
Going for the rear naked choke. It's on the chin right now, not yet on the throat, not on the carotid arteries.
Well, Yuri's in trouble though.
But Ivlev
George putting a lot of pressure on him.
George really cranking. Ivlev keeping his cool, trying to break the hold. That is tight.
I think Yuri Ivlev may have punched himself out trying to finish Aivan Jorje in the corner. One thing is, in the position they're in, he can't get Yuri Ivlev on his face. Can't get him, belly down. We can really put a lot of pressure with the hips.
Action called for by referee Marco Brusin.
Well, that's a tough call. How much action is there supposed to be when you're going for the rear naked choke when you have it sunk pretty deep? It's Yuri Ivlev that has to do some action and get out of this position.
Ivlev trying to turn himself into the ring ropes. Look of calm in the eyes of the Russian Yuri Ivlev. He's going to escape this choke, Jimmy.
Got out of the choke, but still in the triangle body lock. Not in a good position.
You see the beautiful body triangle held by Aivan Jorje, and he's going right back to a rear naked choke attempt. Closing seconds of round number 1. What a tremendous round.
Wow, tremendous round. But Aivan Jorje is lucky to make it out of that first round. He was in big trouble. 9 out of 10 referees would have stopped this fight already, Sean.
The bell, the end of round number 1. A tremendous round 1 in our opening bout of the 2009 M1 Challenge Finals here in St. Petersburg, Russia. When we return, we'll move to the second round of this lightweight bout. Seconds out called. Round number 2 upcoming. This our opening bout of the 2009 M1 Challenge Finals, this in the lightweight division. Aivan Jorje, the Brazilian for USA East. He's in the white and red trunks. Yuri Ivlev, the Russian for Team Russia Legion, is in the blue trunks. Into round number 2. This round will have to go a long way to match the excitement, the back and forth action, Jimmy, of round number 1.
Yeah, but you see the change in strategies. Aivan Jorje was not trying to bang with Yuri Ivlev this time. He dove right in for the takedown, did not want to trade any strikes. He's learned his lesson. If he's going to win this, it's going to be on the ground, on top.
Jorje looking for the single leg, now looking for the double leg.
Good job slipping out, trying to take the back.
And Ivlev again gives his back. Punch from the bottom by Aivan Jorje.
Aivan Jorje doing the right thing, staying tight, trying to open Yuri Ivlev up with strikes. But another problem is they keep getting caught in the ropes. Well, that's a little bit deeper, but I think still across the chin.
What a beautiful body triangle being held by Aivan Jorje on Yuri Ivlev.
Oh, that's a lot tighter. Still on the chin, though. I don't think he's sinking it all the way underneath.
It's tight, it hurts, but it's not yet on the throat.
I don't think so. We're going to have to get a better look at it, but I don't think it's across the carotid, which is where it needs to be.
Ivlev was playing all offense, now he's playing all defense. In this position in the closing stages of the opening round, in this position to start round number 2. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
And Yuri Ivlev is showing great submission defense, but it's Aivan Jorje in the dominant position so far in this round.
Tremendous opening bout, Jimmy, to the 2009 M1 Challenge Finals.
Wow, after all this exciting, it's going to be a hell of a night.
Jorje committed to going to that rear naked choke. Ivlev showing tremendous, and I mean tremendous, submission defense. But again, when you're defending in MMA, you're not winning.
No, you certainly aren't. Another thing is the back mount isn't like full mount. You don't have a ton of submission options. It's pretty much either, go for the rear naked choke or spin for the armbar and risk giving up position. So Aivan Jorje doing the right thing so far in this fight. Referee calling for action, but Ivan Jorge is being very busy. He's trying hard for that choke. He's landing strikes, trying to get Yuri Ivlev open.
Ivlev spins out of danger.
Oh, now he's in the arm triangle. It's a tight arm triangle, but Yuri Ivlev trying to snake his way out of it.
Ivlev forces his way out. Spun from the rear naked, out of danger, back into danger with the arm triangle choke, and then just simply powered his way out.
That's nothing we saw against Romano de los Reyes. Yuri Ivlev has very effective ground and pound. He's on top. Not only does he have good submissions, but he'll do damage to you, Sean.
Ivlev back to his feet. George looking cautious in the stand-up.
What George is trying to do is load up on that right hand. You don't see him throwing very many jabs, not trying to really set anything up.
Nice low kick. Just under the knee of the left leg of George by Yuri Ivlev.
And George looks very tired. Good leg kick.
Ivlev missing with the left hand, then a knee on the right side by Ivlev. Another knee by Ivlev, then a right hand. George stumbles down. Ivlev now trying to get the back of the Brazilian.
Good shot.
Huge left hand, and there's the stoppage. Victory for Yuri Ivlev.
Wow, good stoppage. That left hand had George rocked.
Russia Legion wins the first bout of the night in the 2009 M1 Challenge Final.
Wow, that was an amazing fight. Beautiful performance by Yuri Ivlev. Wow, showed great heart, good tenacity, excellent striking, an extremely well-rounded game. It's a very tough, undefeated opponent, Sean. You saw it here, Yuri Ivlev very aggressive with the striking. Once again, it was that right hand over the top that sent Ivan Jorge to the ground, and once he was there, looked for a second like he was going to go for the guillotine, spun behind and landed the shot that put Ivan Jorge out. Once again, that right hook over the top, right behind the ear on the temple. As soon as he got behind him, that short left hand finished out the fight. Great tenacity and great accuracy with the strikes right on the jaw, Sean. You see that sneaky left hand, as soon as he drops, just like that, Marco Bruce has seen enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 minutes, 11 seconds of round 2, we have a winner. Due to referee stoppage from technical knockout, Yuri Ivlev.
What a fight to start the night. Back and forth. The winner by way of second round TKO, 4 minutes, 11 seconds. Yuri Ivlev defeats Ivan Jorge.